Early morning levels without a doubt. I'm nerding and we nerding out. Cause we got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We set them. We set them. Pre-market out for the Lions is ready. Coin wise, Sammy and Salmon, we steady. Deep cheers when the knowledge connecting. Wise lions studying with patience. Man, that low in the morning. I'm nerding and we're nerding out. Early morning levels without a doubt. Calling the zones in the structure. Pre-market nerd out. That's all that we about. Shout out to coin wise. Cause we got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We set them. Why you be all on the trot if you rushing? Why you not marking the levels of sunken? Wise lions patient, we build it for structure. Man, die low, teaching the code to the public. Coin wise outfits, flowing abundance. Knowledge and discipline, stacking the hundreds. Every reaction, the lions know how I'm coming. Lions per air when candles start pumping. Hunger for the bell ringing, the lions on a mission. Studying candles, levels, and timing with precision. A boobalito in any market condition. Coin wise with Kimba Lions dominating the competition. We got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We set them. We set them. Pre-market off for the Lions is ready. Coin wise family and similar, we steady. Big cheers with the knowledge connecting. Wise lions studying with patience. Man, that low in the morning. I'm nerding and we nerding out. Early morning levels without a doubt. Calling the zones in the structure. Pre-market nerd out. That's all that we about. Shout out to coin wise. Cause we got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We settle.
Let me see your charts.
Lions. Happy FOMC. Whoa there. What happened to my charts? What's going on here? There we go. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Who's ready? Who juicing? Let's get it. Hey, shout outs to Houston and Cage for joining me.
Let's go. How we doing? What up, lads?
Good afternoon, boys.
Happy Wednesday. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lions. Let's get it. Oh, Kachoya on the top longs. Kachoya.
Yo, all right, can we try that again? Hey, can you replay the intro? I want to see it again. I don't know why.
You want to see it again?
Yeah, because I don't know, the whole screen was missing.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like half your screen was gone.
Half of it was missing.
Let's try it again.
This land I know. Early morning levels without a doubt. I'm nerding and we nerding out. Cause we got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We set them. We for the Lions is ready. Coin wise, Sammy and Salmon, we steady. Deep cheers when the knowledge connecting. Wise lions studying with patience, man, that low. In the morning, I'm nerding and we're nerding out. Early morning levels without a doubt. Calling the zones in the structure, pre-market nerd out. That's all that we about. Shout out to coin wise. Cause we got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We set them. Why you be all on the trot if you rushing? Why you not marking the levels of sunken? Wise lions patient, we build it for structure. Man, die low, teaching the code to the public. Coin wise outfits, flowing abundance. Knowledge and discipline stacking the hundreds. Every reaction, the lions know how I'm coming. Lions per air when candles start pumping. Before the bell ringing, the lions on a mission. Studying candles, levels, and timing with precision. A boobalido in any market condition. Coin wise with Kimba Lions dominating the competition. We got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We set them. Battle, we set them. Pre-market off of the Lions is ready. Coin wise family and seminar we stay. Big cheers with the knowledge connecting. Wise lions studying with patience. Man, that low in the morning. I'm nerding and we nerding out. Early morning levels without a doubt. Calling the zones in the structure. Pre-market nerd out. This all that we about. Shout out to coin wise. Cause we got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We settle.
All right, I
We
think that's
set
good.
them. Let's go. Curvy's computer was juicing too hard and blew up.
Yep.
And that's what takes me high, higher than I've been before. And this wind, it keeps me alive. Thought I should
How's that sound?
you know that this trade, it means so much more. When
Shout out to Asus.
there's juice, I'm always thinking of Kimba.
Who's ready? I know I'm ready.
Let's
I know
find
KJ
out.
used
It's
to
time
ready.
for FOMC.
It's FOMC time. Wait a minute. The fuck? I know the professor's ready. Oh! Oh!
Professor JP.
Rate cuts. No rate cuts, but we still ballin'. Let's go. Good afternoon. Close the fucking door. What a way to enter the stream. Hey, let's get it. You kind of look like him. Shout outs CoinWise. Hey, shout outs to our levels. Hey, if you didn't mark your daily levels today, you didn't mark your levels for today. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Shout out to CoinWise levels. Get your screen grabbed super quick. Bye. Hey, shout out to CoinWise daily levels. Education. Amazing indicators. Journal. Quizzes. And more. Hey, look at that previous month value area high. Oh, that's juice. We talked about this yesterday, did we not? Mark, Curvies, Fib Math, Jaloob, Maestro, Fredward. Let's go, Bergix. Shout outs to PSG. Skit Moha. Wrong person, Jaloob, Manaka, MJ. Horchata. Says 0. Mark Lou. Let's go, Maestro. Let's go, Cajun Houston. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Who juicing?
Working hard.
Cage just
Yeah, I'm
finished
bitching.
filing
How
some
you-
paperwork.
I'm looking to see if CoinWise has rewards to give out today.
Ooh. Ooh.
How many of y'all want some CoinWise rewards? Some basic plans. Get some daily levels. Shout out Mandalo.
And indicator. And journal.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Let's go, I Samuel, Karoon, Latisse, Dayox. Thanks for indulging the intro once more. We're tinkering. It's probably
Here, one
Mandalus
quick
that
thing,
set
guys.
fucking things up.
If you guys want a chance to win some CoinWise giveaways, make sure you guys go to coinwise.com and you register an account right now and you link your Twitch. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Get ready for some FOMC bango.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, sir. We are already streaming. This meeting hasn't started yet, brother. But welcome. Welcome back. Join the Discord. Join the Wise Lions. There is plenty of juice to go around. And check
Can you
out
win 3
CoinWise.
days in
Hey,
a row?
how
I don't know
about these-
Kirby's.
More CoinWise?
Nice.
Ooh, maybe. You won 2 days in a row? That's a good week, brother. Pixel Top Short and juicing on CoinWise. I know you juiced on that BTCC giveaway. Shoutouts BTCC. Hey, shoutouts wrong person. He juicing.
Wrong
Get
P.
your Hermes umbrellas out.
Wrong P, let's go.
Hey, big cheers. Thank you, brother.
Let's go. Shout out wrong person.
If it has the juice to get there, this is going to be an interesting level for a bearish retest. Bad highs. How about that from yesterday? I can't believe that held. No lit grab. Ooh wee! Johnny Kingslow. Shouts to you, brother. Thank you. He juiced.
Johnny.
Hey, get
Oh, Lions are juiced today.
They are juicing.
Let's go, Johnny.
Big thank you. Shouts Johnny Kingslow. M player. Hey, big cheers. Thank you. What do you guys think of the intro? That was fire, right? I'm enjoying it. Dokong. Shay's Anatomy. Kata. Daily Plays. Kimba Gang always. Shoutouts to YouTube. Froggy Shybot. Ooh, wee wrong person. To the balcony. Well, we got a little bit of time. We are going to have bingo today. Who's excited for bingo? Shoutouts Cage. Shoutouts Husty for the intro.
I'm
too.
excited. Let's go.
New bingo, new terms. A lot of juice there. It's going to be fun. Bugatti to Ducati. I'm going to just be on my Manicotti.
Just gotta make sure everybody's ready to win some rewards.
Manicotti in my hand, but not the food. Let's go, Aphelion. Compadrex. Yeah, shoutouts Manaka. Shout out to Husey. It's super dope. Love it. Thank you. Yeah, I just like plowed right through the weekly open after one little wick into it. And stack single prints, just de-risking a little bit. Nothing unnatural. We talked about this possibility. Chopping in the range, potentially holding value area high. So, you know, we were prepared. I know the lion's juicing. Yeah, not enough Latuche skip Moha. There's a little delay from running the audio in the way that we do. It doesn't match up when we do multi. Here, I'll sit down like Houston. Does this help? I can't stand it when the movies are doing, like, when your streaming service or something does that. Don't look at me. Or I could do crypto face and put a mask on. Hell no, I'm never putting another mask on in my life. If you know, you know. Well, it too, Jay. Let's go,
light up a huge J. I'm gonna hit the balcony for that. Big cheers. Let's go.
Ozzy.
I'm ready for FOMC.
Yeah, we ready.
You're hyping me up.
How's our rate cuts? Did they increase the odds at all? It was 0.9% yesterday. You never know. So you're saying there's a chance? Hey, shout outs to Biff. I'm calling noob. Coke Zero, Rajalicious, Mozzie, Nono Diabito. 12 minutes. I guess we should maybe see TRADFI too, huh? We grabbed the gap. But we got down, so there's another one. Yeah, if it makes it up there, that might be a pretty interesting level. And higher time frame, that's you know, kind of along the lines of and an important level from previously, like way back. If it keeps going, weekly POC. Yeah, and there's still the 69 levels that we were talking about yesterday. It did clean on RTH. Just barely. And it's previous week VWAP, monthly VWAP. So not too bad. And we're right back at our 67.20 again. How's that high? Ugh. Failed auction at 68. And then we de-risk into it. Gotta love it. And left that high. To the downside, we still have a little bit of a gap on ES. I don't have the gaps turned on. But a little bit of a gap still. And that gap fill is just below previous week point of control. Yeah, that might be interesting. I think that's a 05. Almost a golden pocket. That's kind of nice. All right, we got 10 minutes. Manaka, hype is juicing. Will be I mean, dude, 83rd. Shout out to you, brother. But Pierce speaks. What's Pierce doing speaking?
I knew somebody. I knew it. Random shit's happening.
Doesn't he know we got important shit to do? Hey, we're set up and ready though. Ready for the pressure, ready for the bingo.
Back to the moon.
What was that? It went away. Oh. Why did it change the source? We just eating every run all the way to the green. Just cop some brand new charts and some games for the team. Yeah, your squad get in front of them. Yeah, we posted up with Kimba gang. Yeah. Net trays all on my timeline, talking about pumping and dumping. If you want the real shine, better juice about a dozen. Juice. Squad pockets full, just look how the wind's coming. Yeah, we got the trend running. Charts we stay. I got a flash of Houston's hat. That's not J Powell.
Is Kimba quit streaming? No. Just live trading Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. He's just been busy this week. Been doing business. What up, Benger?
What?
Kimba, it's time to juice. Yeah, 10,000 hours in, look where we at now. From the bottom to the charts, that's the map now. Facts. Kimba gang in the building, whole crowd staying proud. Subathon lit, let's get loud. Every late night, early morning, man, I paid that toll. Back is on the desk, got my heart and soul. They was doubting every step, now they can't control. How a lion from the jungle to the crown and gold. This ain't luck, it's design, it's the hours I play.
I'm hearing double.
You're hearing double?
Double music. Because you got the stream open.
We the outliers, can't stop the flame. 10 toes down, can we run the game? 10,000 hours, now don't win the same. From the grind to the glory, they gon' know the name. Subathon lab, blessings on repeat.
Anything that's running, so anything that you're running off the Google Chrome, it's gonna pick it up. So you gotta mute one of them.
There you go.
Let's go. Get you.
To get everything set up, you guys. How's everybody's day? Happy Wednesday. Whole different person after the balcony, I have to say. Yes, sir, wrong P. You know, revived. We're locked the fuck in. We're ready. Guys, we got a few events still going on. We got the BLOFIN tournament. I mean, trading competition. All right. Got $15,000 on the line. Got the KCEX deposit boost for anybody that's interested to trade on KCEX. As a new user, make sure you guys are signed up under KIMBA'S referral. And we still have the $100,000 of giveaways over on BTCC. Shout out those 3 exchanges. They're really doing some work. We appreciate them a lot. Shout out Kimba. Make sure your UIDs are in the dashboard. Make sure you're in the Discord. Much love, you guys. Happy Wednesday. Let's get ready for FOMC. Let's do it. We got 4 minutes. 3 minutes. It's actually at 2:30. We're cheering until then.
3.5 minutes. Let's go, Lions. Where's our no rate cut song?
Affiliates, can we get some vol today, please? Skip Mo, I said in 3 minutes. Just wait your turn.
Oh, we should do predictions. You want to do predictions now in 3 minutes, or like?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I think we should do it later.
Do it later. Like, get the predictions in later. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's when he starts talking.
yeah, that's the real. That's the real.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not touching it. These highs are no good on RTH. Just so we are aware of that. But we got quite a bit of resistance and levels to the top side. ES just cleaned locally. You got a cleaner. Did it clean that? Yes. What is that, a sweep for ants? How are they supposed to learn? Let's go, no Diabito. Give us the juice. Give us the juice. How much time we got? 1 minute. Okay, do you think we're gonna get rate cuts?
Depends how like threatened the chair feels with the up and coming replacement.
I think
Isn't Trump trying to get worse in just so he ups or cuts rates? I'm pretty sure that's like the whole point.
Yeah, I think it's like, at least responsibly speaking, extremely reckless with the global events that are occurring. Even if I want rate cuts.
True. I wonder how much like pressure there is behind that, but regardless, what's best for everybody is probably what's gonna.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Let go now. Let go now. Analyzing.
There you go, refresh. Click the refresh button. F5. F5.
Come on now. Come on.
Bump it. They said bump it. That's funny.
PPI came in so juicy today, huh?
It's a pump, then it's a dump. It's a pump, then it's a dump. You ready for that?
That came in hot. Oh, Kachoya. The forecast was right. Let's go, Skidmo, huh? Johnny Kingslow. No rate cuts, but we still ballin'.
No rate cut. Okay, okay.
All F4. Oh my god, I don't even know what that does, but he almost got us.
Alt F4, almost.
Almost. Ding, 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 ding.
There you go.
Oh, we don't need the countdown anymore.
Will you get into that previous value range?
It's gonna break out its TPO value.
We got trading sessions right now.
Y'all know me, I never have 5-minute charts on. This is for the Vala purely and for the entertainment, hopefully. See the reaction on ES? I think they were trying to price it in a little bit. And PPI didn't really help us today.
Immediate lows right below us are. Ugh.
Oh, on CME or on ES?
Let's see him.
Yeah, I'm not liking that, but it did like baby teeny tiny sweep. But that's not really a cleaner. TPO wise, it's a good low though. I gotta turn these freaking extensions off. Ugh. So annoying.
Like spot hasn't really cleaned a bad low yet.
Spot didn't?
Mm-mm.
I mean, that was like the first bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one still remains. You're right. And that was so good though. Well, previous week value area high. Retest
Can still
and
rotate though.
reject
There's
or reclaim.
easy single prints maybe.
The first one is definitely an easy one. I would be stunned if they ran through all of them today and retraced them. Stranger things have happened. It's a big Vala day, and there's bad highs above. See how these longs and shorts are. A lot of shorts TP'd responsibly. There's still a fuck ton of longs. Some of them are underwater. But CBD, but RSI, it just dipped down to 0. Slow time frame. Hype's been cooking. We'll check out Hype in a few. We want to see this reaction. We're focused on like the real. I mean, Hype is the future of finance. Never mind. I was gonna say we're gonna keep an eye on the real markets, but you know, like I said. Alright, Let's see gold and Dixie. Dixie not liking it. Gold. Oh my gosh. What are we doing here? Come on now. There's your gap for you. And CME. Yeah, we got the four-way going for in a little bit when we got bingo on this side of the screen. Yeah, and I should get the bingo card up. How you feeling about that? Y'all ready?
I'm ready for that.
Let's do it.
I'm ready if you ready.
Well, we ready then.
Jeez.
Bingo. Okay, let me make sure I got the thing visible on the overlay. Come on now.
Looks like there's heat up ahead. Like the charts cracked wide in the session. Feels like the trade could be turning.
Oh, it worked.
Like I can tell that my luck's gone.
Ready for game to start?
If you could see me now, I'm staring at the edge.
Take a scan and join bingo. Just join bingo, no exclamations.
You got me pressing entries, baby.
Hey, ready?
Looks like I'm in the
Bingo. Presented by CoinWise and KTV. Let's get it. Ooh, Curvez is already in second place. Let's go, Samuel. Join bingo, join bingo, join bingo. Cage, let's go.
Let me in there.
Get in here. Kagam.
I'm in there.
Mozzie. Look at all these terms. We got some new ones in here. Dude, I'm gonna have a hell of a time trying to keep up with all this. I was thinking that last time.
There's so much
Fuck me,
fucking
dude.
words. Why did you? What the fuck is going on?
48. 48. Lots
love
of
it.
different cards may be generated. It's gonna be juice. Yeah, if I'm quiet during the whole thing though,
Pardon my French.
I might need some help.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I want to see this one. No. This one. Yeah. For now. Oh, wait a second. We gotta see the preview of like what it's gonna look like with everybody. Yeah. So we can still see ES. We can still see CME.
I got word back that CoinWise will supply prizes for this bingo game.
Ooh-wee! Shout out to CoinWise, exclamation CoinWise 2-week free trial. They got levels. We saw them at the beginning of the stream today, and we saw them working all morning. Trading journal, indicators, education, quizzes, juice, professors.
Everything.
Let's go. Come on, join bingo. You don't know how to play this? You just play it. You just hit join bingo, dude. And that's it. And it'll calculate the
Super
leaders.
simple.
Yeah, everybody gets generated a different card. There's 48 different terms here, so there's going to be many combinations possible. Everybody should have a different one. Yeah, you just listen and yell and tell me if I miss it when he says a word. Like, make sure that I get that on there. I cleaned a few of them up, aside from close the fucking door, because that just has to be on here. That might be a free space. So if you lucked out with that one, GG's. Let's go. We got 53 players in here. Whole lot more space. That's an auto win. If he says that, yeah, dude. But if he's close to the end of his term, he's like on, you know, chill mode. He's like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm not even supposed to be here today. Yeah, fuck this, I'm out. They'll be throwing bows off the stage. I like that we're listening to, yeah, exactly, to international music on like the biggest U.S. event day. Kind of feels like Super Bowl. Let's go, everybody. Uchiha. LOL Kukui. Let's go for Edward. Lost the WBC. Two-year Kimba Gang Riddler. Let's go. Congratulations. I think that unlocked a brand new little emote for you, didn't it?
Sheesh. Welcome back, Riddler.
Let's go, Riddler. Looking like a pretty fucking badass Viking over there. Love it. Get in here, join bingo, join bingo. Come on now. You got prizes on the line.
I think everybody's in there. 58 players.
Come on, I know we can do it. We have 17 minutes. Speaking of which, I think I can do it now. Join bingo, join bingo. Come on now. Yeah, let's go, Akir. First 5 minutes. J-Pow candle.
Yeah, people on YouTube, join the Twitch.
Yeah, join in Twitch.
Type in the Twitch, join bingo.
Yeah, even if you continue viewing in YouTube, to join it, it has to be through the Twitch. That's how the game is set up. 15 minutes. Join bingo, join bingo. No exclamations or anything. We just join it. Let's go, Tarantula. Let's go, Sophia. Jared, Excognitive, Karoon, Kagam, TDW, YG. Let's go, Palentis. Turkaz, Dengue. Let's go, Fredward. Send it. Exactly, JV. Send it. You said it. Those are my pronouns. Our pronouns are lions and I don't know. Identify as a helicopter. All right, all right, all
I
right.
identify as a candlestick. A nice green dildo.
A big green one. Let's go.
Fuck yeah, dude.
This
Get me
is
in
my
there.
candle set. Hold on, hold on, hold on. A big old droopy candlestick right there.
Jeez.
No! Join bingo, join bingo. Cage. Love it. Hi, Banshees, let's go. Shout out to Banshees. M player. Alright, we got 70 now. Let's get it, y'all. V001. Hey, I definitely made my life difficult with this bingo card, but dude, it's gonna be fun. Every single sentence he says is gonna be something on here.
Probably something. Yeah.
Let's go, Khan.
Useless lines record.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's gonna say gold. We don't know if he's gonna say like digital assets or AI. He probably will say oil. Yeah, but pretty much. You gotta make sure that people have full cards and not everybody has the same ones. We had like the last game, people were getting like triple bingos. Which was fun too. We filled the whole thing. Houston, what's on tap tomorrow?
Or I think he dipped out.
No, he's there. Oh wait, is he not? Got that pause and Twitch.
What was the question?
I forget.
What was on the tab for
I know
tomorrow?
what's going on.
So you're asking?
Yeah, UC was having a problem with it was Mandalay messed up good. The settings. He fixed it though, thank goodness.
Houston. Houston.
Just left. What's up, guys?
Nothing, dude. Nothing. You're good.
Jesus.
I figured out what was
What's
going on
up?
with the OBS.
Help us.
Oh,
I
okay.
threw
Yeah,
you
no,
off.
we're gonna talk about that later after the stream.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Sorry, food is here. Had to
Listening
go
party
get my
for the
food. Sorry
talent
for
show. That was
leaving.
the
Sorry for
question,
leaving.
UC.
What was the
dinner
question?
and the
Sorry.
show. Hold on. Where's mine?
What was going on with what's going on the itinerary for the rest of the week?
Talent show. Oh, for the rest of the week. Okay. Talent show listening party Thursday. Still, y'all. We discussed it on Tuesday. We'll pick up the season 2 finale next week. So we're still rocking listening parties as we get closer to the season 2 wrap up. I know you guys got a sneak preview of the wheel, the winter wheel. All right, so we're going to be showcasing the wheel next week. Hope you guys are prepared. Exclamation talent show. You guys ready? We got more Hujushin premieres Friday, so make sure you guys are tuning in on Friday. We got a brand new Hujushin premiere going out. Right now, there's a small issue over at the Hujushin. I think WEEX is down, so I'm currently working on that as well. Trying to get with WEEX on getting that fixed. We're still experiencing some issues with WEEX over at the Hujushin. We were able to close that position though for that juicy short that we had on Sato. So we were able to close that out. We did run into some weeks issue that's getting fixed, but I think that's it for the week, y'all. We got more Mandalo Nerd Outs Thursday, exclamation dashboard to get caught up with all the stream schedules. And then last but not least, we got CME resumption on Sunday with Cage, Houston, and Buzz. So yeah, that's it, guys. Make sure you guys are in the dashboard, getting caught up, staying prepared. Catch ya.
Get in the dashboard, get in the Discord. Exclamation Discord. Kimba's dead.
Explanation point prepared. Let's go.
Wise Lions.
Good stuff.
Shout out to BTCC, juicing us up the past month and a half, basically. KCEX still got the depot bonuses. BTCC, depot bonuses and fee rebates on S&P trades. And BLOFIN trading competition still going on. Exclamation merch.
Gonna stream JP. Yeah, of course, Skip Moha. Have you never been on an FOMC stream with us, Skip Moha? Come on, bro. You've been here long enough, brother. Yeah. We're gonna hang out, watch JPZ. We gotta. What do you think the bingo card's for? We're gonna do JPZ bingo. Every time JPZ says something and it's on the bingo board, we're gonna mark it down. Let's go, let's go. Come on, Skimoho, wake up.
Oh, get excited. There is so many new things. Yeah, get excited. Somebody was like, it's not like it used to be. Dude, that's called evolution. It's even juicier. Yes, I'm sorry that I'm not Kimba. We're all sorry that we're not Kimba. You just get more people in front of you sharing the juice and the vibes. Like, this is amazing. Yeah, get psyched. Who else is doing bingo for FOMC? Shit, I don't know. Maybe Sato's gonna do it. You got a spicy chicken sandwich? Shout out to PSG. Shout out to Houston. Shout out to Fredward. I know, Skip Moha.
Let's go, Skip Moha.
Dinner and the show.
It's 7 minutes.
Yeah.
7 minutes. Looks like
Yeah,
there's
I'm
a heat
super
up
loud,
ahead.
right? I'm super loud. I gotta turn
Minus
my mic down.
minus
I'll turn my mic.
60% quieter. Dude, I have my shit on max.
I turned mine down. Maybe that's better.
You don't really need to hear me anyway. I'm just like saying dumb shit. Is that better? It's like literally on 11 out of 10. I'm gonna get all up in that.
Shout out Ola Frank.
Houston, you can turn your thing back up. I can't get all the way into the mic because, dude, my beer gets stuck in it. For reals.
I'm in love with the market bounce. Sorry, not to. That's crazy.
In love with the market bounce.
That's OG shit.
It is.
Shout out Lil Cookie.
Yo, my bad. I'll shut up.
Join bingo. I know. If I'm licking it, then it's a good thing.
Where can I add my bingo card? Join bingo in the chat. Okay.
Didn't see Crypto Face doing it. Hey, shouts Karoon. Sorry.
All caps, join bingo.
Husey, can you eat into the mic, please? It just gives me old school Kimba vibes. He'd be like,
I'm muted. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
that's
I
the
had no
Crypto Face
breakfast. I'm
vibes.
hungry. Oh yeah, I did have breakfast. Fuck, but I'm still hungry.
Dude, the first stream I ever saw of his, he like burped so loud into the mic, and I was like, what in the fuck am I watching? Shout out to Crypto Face though. Superman theme song? Shay's learning today. Nice. Let's get it, Shays. Theme song when JP speaks. We're gonna turn the music off when he speaks. It like doesn't run very well. So we got No, not this one. FOMC. There we go.
You remember that song that Kimba used to play before the FOMC stream?
What, the Joe Biden song?
We should remix that.
Dude, we were talking about that one yesterday. I was like, man, that shit was so funny. That would be so awesome. Have you seen the music video for that thing?
Yeah, it's like a DJ, right? Just a DJ playing the song.
It's pretty funny. They should do like a Trump version of it. Oh, monster in my hand, but not the drink. Got the spicy chicken sandwich in my hand, but not the food.
Hey, what you drinking, Cage?
Best
a
energy
hoagie
drink
in my hand,
company
but not the
in
food.
the game. Shout out Monster.
You got a
Big
monster in your hand? But the drink?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm
Y'all
ready.
like juicing on your monsters and your
That's
chicken
good.
sandwiches. I'm juicing on my like 2 hours of sleep and fucking work since then. Barely make it back. Like eat a granola bar before we freaking. I'm spoiled.
Well, damn.
Thank you guys for helping him. Guys, if you want to join bingo, type join bingo, all caps, no explanation point in the chat.
Join bingo. Let's get it. Come on now, we got 77 people.
Let's go
Can
get
we
in
get
there.
it
It's a
to-
chance to win some Koi-wise prizes. I think we're going to give away some pro subscriptions. Not the basic. Get the pro.
Ooh, that's juice. There it is.
Ooh, is it pro? There you go. Now you got it. That's correct. Audio delayed. Yes, it is, Alan. Nothing we can do.
Only bull questions. Here we go. All right, we're gonna pause the music. This night thing's about to start.
It is 2:30.
You remember when Biden used to come out, like he would be scheduled for 2:30, he would come out at like 3:30?
Have they started yet?
No.
Beautiful.
I do remember that though. We just
Late as always.
He would come out like 45 minutes later, because they had to wake him up or whatever. Come on now. Is this it? This is supposed to be Federal Reserve Live. Their YouTube wasn't looking Gucci. Come on now.
What's going on here?
Oh my God, it's on AP though. No. Here we go.
go, y'all. Bear with us while we get it going. Shout out to Mandalote. Let's go. Ready? They're really gonna make me vote for Joe Biden. Joe
For the 12
Biden.
months ending in February, and that
Well, we hear
excluding the
it.
volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 3.0%. These elevated readings
there-
largely reflect inflation in the goods sector, which has been boosted by the effects of tariffs.
Oh, tariffs.
Near-term measures of inflation
I'm trying to get the
expectations
video
have
on.
risen in recent weeks, likely reflecting the substantial rise in oil prices caused by the supply disruptions in the Middle East. Most measures of longer-term expectations
can get the video on
consistent
first.
with our 2% inflation goal.
2%.
The median projection in the
Mark 'em
S&P
off,
for
Cage, if
total
you,
PCE inflation this year
I'll
is
get caught up.
2.7% and 2.2% next year, a bit higher than projected in December. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. At today's meeting, the committee decided
Seems super
to maintain
low.
the target range for the federal funds rate at 3.5 to 3.75%. From last September through December, we lowered our policy rate 0.75 of a percentage point, bringing it within a range of plausible estimates of neutral. This normalization of our policy stance should continue to help stabilize the labor market while allowing inflation to resume its downward trend toward 2%. But the implications of events in the Middle East for the U.S. economy are uncertain. In the near term, higher energy prices will push up overall inflation, but it is too soon to know the scope and duration of the potential effects on the economy.
Sounds you
We
gotta
will
move your
continue to
source,
monitor the risks
Mandalote,
to both
above
sides
the
of our
trading view,
mandate.
so it can be in front.
We are well positioned
I
to
did.
determine the extent and timing of additional adjustments to our policy rate
Make sure
based
it's
on the
on
incoming
loop
data,
or something.
the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. In our SEP, FOMC participants wrote down their individual assessments of an appropriate path of the federal funds rate under what each participant judges to be the most likely scenario for the economy. The median participant projects that the appropriate level of the federal funds rate will be 3.4% at the end of this year and 3.1% at the end of next year, unchanged from December. As is always the case, these individual forecasts are subject to uncertainty, and they are not a committee plan or decision. Monetary policy is not on a preset course, and we'll make our decisions on a meeting-by-meeting basis. To conclude, The Fed has been assigned two goals for monetary policy: maximum employment and stable prices. We remain committed to supporting maximum employment, bringing inflation sustainably to our 2% goal, and keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We at the Fed will continue to do our jobs with objectivity, integrity, and a deep commitment to serve the American people. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you. Colby Smith of the New York Times. There's been some debate about whether the Fed should look through the inflation that will come from higher oil prices stemming from the Middle East conflict. Is that the right approach at this juncture? And to what extent does the fact that inflation has been above target for roughly 5 years now influence the committee's thinking around this?
So, first, let me say we're well aware of the performance of inflation over the last few years and how a series of shocks have interrupted progress that we've made over time. And that happened most recently with tariffs, and now there will be some effects on inflation coming forward.
I've put all of the words he said in the chat.
The thing that's really important that we see this year is progress on inflation through a reduction in goods inflation as the one-time effects on prices of tariffs go through the system, go through the economy. That's the main thing we're looking for going into this exercise. And we need to be seeing that to sort of understand that we actually are making progress, because on net we didn't make progress. And if you look at total inflation, total core inflation, it's about 3%, and some big chunk of that, between 1/2 and 3/4, is actually tariffs. So we're looking for progress on that. The question of whether we look through the energy inflation doesn't really arise until we have kind of checked that box. It, of course, is kind of standard learning that you look through energy shocks, but that's always been dependent on inflation expectations remaining well anchored. And I think now it's also dependent on what you mentioned, which is that broader context of 5 years now of inflation above target. We have to keep all of those things in mind, and the question of looking through when it does arise will be one to approach not lightly, but in the context that you mentioned.
And just on the S&P, can you help us make sense of why there is still a bias to cut for most officials this year, despite the upward revision to headline and core inflation and the essentially unchanged forecast for growth and unemployment? Just curious, kind of what's the genesis behind the need? What's the need for the cut?
Yeah, so there are 19 people, and so 19 reasons, 19 individual submissions. And if you notice, the median didn't change, but there was actually some movement toward a meaningful amount of movement toward fewer cuts by people. So 4 or 5 people went from 2 to 1, let's say, 2 cuts to 1 cut. And each person has individual, stories behind what they want to do. But essentially, it is that the forecast is that we will be making progress on inflation. Not as much as we had hoped, but some progress on inflation. It should come as we start to see in the middle of the year progress on tariffs, going through once and then tariff inflation coming down. We should be seeing that. And the rate forecast is conditional on the performance of the economy. So if we don't see that progress, then you won't see the rate cut.
You said Rich?
Howard.
Thank you. Howard Schneider with Reuters. Just to follow up a little bit and to be clear, is the higher inflation penciled in here for 2026 solely the result of the oil shock or something else?
So that's going to be part of it. But, that wouldn't be most of core, right? So the oil shock for sure shows up here. Some of that will be in core as well. But yes, but no, there's also just the feeling that we haven't seen, the progress that we're making on core goods. And on tariffs and on the rest of it. So for whatever reason, people did write up their inflation forecast. That will certainly be tied to events in the Middle East and the price of oil, but it's also, I think, a reflection of the slow
Yeah, we go
progress
with
we've
the,
seen on tariffs,
Trevor.
which we believe we will see. It's just a
Whoever,
question of how long it takes for them to
has
get
the
all the way
most at
through
the
the
end.
economy, and it just takes some time.
Right. And
Oh,
is the
we have two
lack
winners.
of change in the SEPs, again, just to
shout out
explicate this a
Corona
little bit,
Juice and Ruraru.
more due
Ruraru
What a
won
fuck
last
won
time, I
first.
think.
expectation that the oil portion of this will pass through, or more out of concern that there is a potential blow
Who won
to
first?
consumption and growth coming in the form
Corona.
of wealth effects with the stock market down, in the form of gas prices, diverting
Manaka.
spending from other parts of
Did
the
he say
economy.
gold?
So I didn't get the second part of your question.
The consumer is going to be potentially diverting money to gasoline
Yeah.
from other parts of the economy.
Oh, yeah.
There could be a growth shock or a redistribution
Shout
of
out to
spending
S&P.
there that can hit consumption, wealth effects as well. I guess I'm wondering, is the rate forecast not
Corona
changing
Juice won
because
first?
you think
Perfect,
the
Fred.
oil
Thank you.
shock is going to be temporary, or because
Thank you,
wanna be
Kirby's.
sure you're
Thank you,
positioned
Skip.
in case growth starts
Let's
to
go,
accelerate?
Corona
What I
Juice.
really want to emphasize
Let's go,
is that
Rubaru. Let's go,
nobody knows,
Manaka.
The economics effect could
Hey,
be
people
bigger,
still have
it
a
could be
chance. It's
smaller,
not
it
over
could be
yet.
much smaller or much bigger. We just don't know. So
You guys haven't won
people are
yet.
writing down something that seems to make sense to them, but have no conviction. To your point, if we have if we have a long period of much higher gas prices, that's going to weigh on consumption. That'll weigh on disposable personal income, and it'll weigh on consumption. But we don't know if that's going to happen. Something quite different.
Higher
We might have
prices.
much lower than expected pass
he
through.
said higher
So
prices?
people write down, this is one of those SEPs
Technically, you said
where a
higher
number of
gas
people
prices.
mentioned if we were ever going to skip an SEP, this would be a good one, because we just don't know. So I wouldn't say there's a
said
conviction that this is going to go through quickly or not quickly. It's just you got to write something down, and this is something that is
He said conditions? I'm
that
sure he
people
did.
wrote down, we don't debate how long. How do you do that? We wouldn't be able to debate what the length of or size of these effects would be. We just have to kind of make an individual
You can't see it.
statement. And also, what you've written down before you'll be reluctant to move too far away from that, just because you don't know. It's so unclear what the direction from this particular end will be. Meanwhile, the growth has been solid, and inflation, the overshoot is mainly from the goods and tariffs. And, the labor market is, the unemployment rate, of course, is little changed since September.
Is there an echo? He said labor market.
Very, very low break-even rate, apparently, for new jobs, with little growth in either demand or supply. But the U.S. economy is doing
He said employment, too.
pretty well. It's just we don't know what the effects of this will be, and really no one does.
He said growth as well.
Mr. Chair, in the past, the staff has suggested that higher oil prices, they have a hit to consumption, which Howard was talking about, but that's somewhat offset by increases to domestic production. I wonder if you could talk about that dynamic, especially to the extent that how much U.S. production is happening right now.
So the first thing is there is, the original thinking, the long-standing thinking. Put it that
Oh,
way,
no,
is the
Diabito
ability for
took
energy
first.
shocks. But as I
Uh-oh.
mentioned, that's conditioned
Let's
on
go.
inflation expectations and that kind of thing. So
Double
so your
bingo.
question was,
What the staff is saying about, and has said in the past
yeah.
about
So there'd be an offset.
offsets, yeah.
So that's true. We have, we're a net exporter of energy, right? So any effects on employment and economic activity and spending would be offset to some extent by the fact that our oil companies will be more profitable, and they may even do more drilling. If you ask oil companies about doing more drilling, though, they're going to want to see, a consistent rate
Productivity,
rise in
that's
oil
right.
prices from where they
Lolo
were
Kufui.
before the buildup for the war, and they're going to want to believe that that's going to be persistent for a fairly long time. So they're not sitting there waiting for oil to go over $70
Let's go
a
Kirby's.
barrel, and then they're going to.
He said higher prices, too.
They're going to make
Did he?
a reasoned,
yeah.
careful judgment that we're going to have higher oil prices for an extended period, meaningfully higher. So I wouldn't say there's much of that happening. Not much will be happening now, but some of that could happen over time if you see that. But so the net of the oil
Oh,
shock will
Banaka
still
took
be
first
some downward
with 3
pressure on
bingos.
spending,
Oh, shit.
employment,
Nice.
and upward pressure on
Banaka,
inflation.
Corona, no
Just follow up
Diabito.
on Colby's question, how much do you worry that
He's got
having
4 now.
inflation
Oh,
and
my
American
God.
inflation running above target and looking through the oil price shock would undermine the credibility of your commitment to the 2% target?
You know, we have to do our analysis and you know, think these things through carefully, but of course
Real,
that's
baby.
on everyone's mind. You know, we're well aware of the history, and but you don't want to overreact to that. You know, you want to make the best judgment you can based on the facts. I don't think we're going to let it color our decision making more than is appropriate. It's more the thought that it's been 5 years, and we've actually had, you know, we had the tariff shock, we had the pandemic, and now we have an energy shock of some size and duration. We don't know what that's going to be, actually. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's a repeated set of things, and you worry that that's the kind of thing that can...
When did he say housing?
You know, can cause trouble for inflation expectations. And so we worry a lot about that, and we are very strongly committed to doing what it takes to keep inflation expectations at 2%.
I don't think he did.
And, you know, I think it's important that we do that, very important.
Nick.
Nick Tamaros, Wall Street Journal. Chair Powell, you've described monetary policy as modestly restrictive. If the unemployment rate is roughly stable,
there is.
inflation
Let's go,
moving
Skimo.
sideways in the high twos, with an ongoing overshoot in services and non-housing services, not just goods, and the economy doing fairly well, as you just
Oh,
outlined,
restrictive.
what gives
Keep
you
an eye on this
confidence that
one.
inflation returns to target over the next couple of years?
Okay. So I would say the rate is, you can characterize it as in the high end of neutral, or you can characterize it.
Is the rule that he has
as
to say
perhaps
it?
mildly restrictive, even modestly restrictive. No one knows for sure, but it's in that range where it's somewhere around the borderline between restrictive and not. Remember that.
There you go. He said it.
Part of the disinflation we're looking for is just the runoff of when tariffs are put into place. Of course, what they do is they raise prices to some extent, to the extent those prices are the tariffs are paid by consumers on a one-time basis. And we're waiting for that process. It takes 8, 9, 10, 11 months, a year to go through the system. And we're waiting for the tariffs, which were put in place over the course of the middle part and later last year. We're waiting for that to go through the system so that goods inflation will return closer to what it's always been. I mean, it used to be, for many, many years, it was negative. And then, you know, the year before tariffs came in, it was 0. And it's running at like 2% now. So, and so that's kind of, goods inflation is running at 2%.
That's definitely
That's
different.
not coming from standard Phillips curve restrictive, restrictive policy. It's coming from the runoff of a one-time thing. We also think it's important, though, to keep policy either mildly restrictive or, you know, close to that. but not
Naka
too
Corona
restrictive because of
juice.
the
No,
weakness in the-
diabetes.
in
Good luck.
the downside risk in the labor market. We are balancing these two goals in a situation where the risks to the labor market are to the downside, which would call for
I
lower
think
rates,
I heard him
versus
say shut the
inflation
fucking
to
door.
the upside, which would call for higher rates or not.
He just said
cutting anyway.
upside.
So we're in a difficult situation, and we feel like our framework calls on us to balance the risks, and we feel like where we are now, which is kind of on that borderline, the higher borderline of restrictive versus not restrictive, we feel like that's the right place to be.
Can I ask about core non-housing services, though? Because there are some people who think that it hasn't come down very much, if at all, over the past year. If wage growth has come down, if the labor market has loosened, why has non-housing services inflation maybe been slower to follow?
That's a good question. It's frustrating. Non-housing services they basically moved sideways for a year. They're at the same level, and we do expect that they will come down. But it's a bunch of idiosyncratic things. But at the same time, that is one of the things.
I didn't hear him say
seeing, because
gold,
to your
Skip
point,
Mo, huh?
you know,
Did he really say
the
it?
labor market is clearly not a source of inflationary pressures, and that should really matter for non-housing services. But we're not seeing progress there. So we do believe that, what we expect for next year is continued, what we want to see for this year, rather, is continued progress on housing services. Finally seeing that, the goods inflation come back down because the one-time effects of tariffs are through, and then also get some help from non-housing services. That's what we'd like to see. But it's a good question why we didn't see much of that last year.
Edward.
Thanks, Chair Powell. Edward Lawrence with Fox Business. So in December, we saw employment numbers revised down to negative 17,000. January revised down. February posted a loss of 92,000. Is the employment side a far greater risk than the inflation side? Because we are seeing inflation, CPI is close to 2%. PCE has ticked down overall.
You know, it's really.
Alan
I
Esu.
wouldn't say that that's clear.
You're
at
in
all,
second.
that
Let's go.
One is more at risk than the other. So you can point to the unemployment rate being stable, and in a world where both supply and demand for workers have come down very, very sharply over the course of the past year due to immigration policy largely, a ratio is going to be a better thing to look at than job creation, for example. So, and the ratio is the unemployment rate, and it's been stable since September. So that tells you that. Inflation, you can. We're at 3.0% core inflation, 2.8% headline. So we've been well above the 2%, that amount, whatever it is, 0.7, 0.8, or a full percentage point above 2% for some time. And that's a concern. We need to get back down to 2%. And we need to keep focused on that, even though we do now face some new inflation.
That technically counts as
PCE. So
PCE,
I'd be hard pressed to say that.
I mean, he didn't say the word,
Obviously
so.
more at risk than the other.
And if I may, what happens if there's no Federal Reserve
Did he?
chairman confirmed on May 15th?
He did not say PC.
So if my successor is
He did not say the
confirmed
full
by the end of my term as chair, I would serve as chair pro tem until he is confirmed. That is what the law calls for. That's what we've done on several occasions, including involving me, and it's what we're going to do in this situation. And while I'm at it, on the question whether I will leave while the investigation is ongoing, I have no intention of leaving the board until the investigation is well and truly over, with transparency and finality. And I would refer you to the statement that was in the Fed's brief that you all have seen, and I won't have anything more for you on that. On the question of whether I will then continue to serve as a governor after my term ends and after the investigation is over, I have not made that decision yet. And I will make that decision based on what I think is best for the institution and for the people we serve. Figuring you probably were going to set the dominoes off there, Edward. And I'm not going to have any more to say on those issues, by the way.
Thank you very
Affiliate
much.
hitting
Claire
us
Jones
with
from
the,
Financial
that'd be
Times.
funny. Not.
People have drawn quite a few historical parallels with the current situation. We've seen oil price shocks in the past. Some people have said the first Gulf War and the Fed's response to that, where there was a focus on the growth risks, is the right parallel. To what extent would you agree with that, and to what extent do you think we're in a different place today? Thank you.
You know, it's really hard to say until we see the situation, the actual situation. In some circumstances, that might be the right case. In fact, for example, if we do see the kinds of disinflationary progress that we expect to see due to tariffs that I mentioned, I think it's hard to say, and it will depend to some extent on the size and duration of the effects we're seeing on prices, and it will depend a lot on what we can see in inflation expectations.
And just one follow-up, if I may, just on the BLS report that was mentioned briefly there. It doesn't seem from the projections or from the comments you've made today about the unemployment rate and focusing on that your view on the labour market story, to a large part being a supply-side story, has changed despite the quite negative number in February. Would that be the right take, and was there anyone else in the room who thought differently, and that the February jobs report was cause for concern?
So I think you have to take the two together. You know, in a way, the January report was a positive surprise, and the February report was a negative surprise. If you put them together, you get something in the middle, and I think you have to really, as you do, I'm sure, realize there was a strike and there was weather, and that's about 80,000 of the negative effect total on the February report. Notwithstanding that, so what do you see if you take a step back overall? There are a number of indicators that suggest a degree of stability, but the thing that I think a good number of people on the committee are concerned about is just the very, very low level of job creation. If you adjust what has been the trend job creation over the past, let's say, 6 months, if you adjust that for what we think, our staff thinks, is the overstatement due to overcounting, effectively there's zero net job creation in the private sector. But actually that looks like that's about what the economy needs in terms of dealing with very, very low, non-existent really, growth in the labor force, which of course we've never had in our history. So you've got a sort of a zero employment growth equilibrium. Now that's balance, okay, but you know, I would say it does have a feel of downside risk, and it's not kind of a really comfortable balance. So you know, we look at that, we see it, we get it, and I mean everybody understands the arithmetic, and that's you can say the break even is zero, but nonetheless it's something we're watching carefully, and so and you know, are concerned about. But ultimately though, you can argue that it's a consequence of deliberate policy, which is really the changes to immigration. That's the biggest factor there, and but nonetheless something we watch carefully.
Andrew.
Thanks, Chair Powell. The economy's experienced a series of supply shocks in the last few years, COVID, tariffs, 2 oil price shocks. Do you think that is bad luck, or has something changed in the world that makes supply shocks more common, and does the central bank need to start taking account of the risk of supply shocks as a more common problem?
You know, we did go through a long period where the shocks were all demand shocks, and you know, so we've had a lot of practice thinking about supply shocks in the last 4 or 5 years for sure. And it's just a very different thing, and a much more difficult thing, because it does immediately raise the question of tension between the 2 parts of our mandate. But you know, has the world changed? I mean, COVID is a one-time thing, right? This energy supply shock is a one-time thing. It's not because of some broad tendency or anything, I don't think. And you know, the oil shock with Ukraine was also a consequence of military action. So I don't know that the world has changed in a way that there'll be more supply shocks. But you know, there's people have written that paper and that speech a number of times. A number of people have tried to make the case that is the case. And in fact, we have seen more supply shocks in the last 5 years than we've seen in many years before that. It's a fact.
Okay. You said last year that the Fed was reviewing its communication strategies, including the SEP, as part of its framework review. Whatever happened to that? And I have like 5 follow-ups to that, but you know, I guess, you know, what would you change about Fed communications if you had the time? Thanks.
What happened about that was not much, and I'll tell you why. So, you know, we looked carefully at many aspects of the SEP and of our communications, and there weren't any ideas that had very broad support on the committee. And you don't want to make a change to your communications unless you have the committee behind that. So we didn't really make any changes on that. I had hoped that they had some things that I wanted to do, but they didn't attract broad support, and we'd already made all the changes we made to the framework. That was a critical thing. So we didn't. And I wish we had been able to do some things, but you know, we didn't. So maybe the next chair will take a look. I'm sure he will.
Michael McKee from Bloomberg Television and Radio. The minutes show in January some members of the committee wanted to include a 2-sided guidance on policy. Was that discussed today? And given the rise in the inflation expectations, how much support for a 2-sided policy warning would there be?
So it did come up today. The policy that the possibility rather that our next move might be an increase did come up at the meeting, as it did at the last meeting. The vast majority of participants don't see that as their base case, and of course we don't take things off the table. But you correctly characterized what was in the minutes that several participants indicated, and something very much like that conversation did happen. What was your second question, though?
I was just one question there, but follow-up would be, there are a lot of goods besides oil that are trapped in the strait right now, and a lot of supply chains getting snarled. How much concern do you have about whether, if this becomes an inflation problem beyond just oil, whether there's anything you can do about it or would do about it, given the efficacies of monetary policy?
you know, you can worry about other commodities. You can worry about all of the ways that oil-related commodities go into manufacturing and that kind of thing. The truth is, it's completely out of our hands, and we just, like everybody else, we have to just wait and see what happens. And it'll come down to how long, you know, the current situation lasts, and then what are the effects on prices, and then how do consumers react and that kind of thing. Really, I wouldn't speculate in any way, and there's really not a lot we can do other than kind of watch and see.
Maria Luisa.
Afternoon, Chair Powell. Maria Luisa Capurro with Bloomberg News. I wanted to ask you, you've said longer-term measures of inflation expectations reflect confidence that the Fed will get back to its 2% goal, but there are some colleagues of yours who have pointed to higher dispersion in household service, in business service as well. So, and that they take as a signal that inflation expectations may be less sticky than in the past. I'm wondering if there was a discussion around that at this meeting across the committee, and what were the views of what is the state of inflation expectations and the risks from higher oil and gas prices.
So at this meeting, I mean, a number of people mentioned and staff briefed on short-term expectations having moved up quite a lot for reasons we understand well. But long-term expectations, you know, you can always find one that's troubling or some aspect of one that's troubling, but ultimately, right through this whole period, the overwhelming majority of the things we look to, including markets, including surveys.
Did he say consumer?
You know, of the public
spending.
Did he say consumer spending?
Forecasters, they've all been pretty solid on longer-term inflation expectations. Being
Did he
right
say
where they need to be,
speculate?
consistent with 2%. So that continues to be the case. We didn't have a lot of conversation about that. I think everyone does agree that you know, we'll be watching those extremely carefully as we see the effects of the price increases come through from the conflict.
And still on how the discussion went across the committee, before coming to this meeting, there were some members who were like discussing the risks of a slowdown in growth and at a time of where inflation remains high. It really doesn't seem that most members are penciling in a slowdown in growth.
No.
But has there been any discussion of the risks of stagflation at this point?
So people actually wrote up their growth forecast by a tenth, and I think that's probably to do with just growing confidence in productivity. But sorry, and your second question was just.
If there have been any discussions about the risk of stagflation, stagflation scenario.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, there's tension between the two goals, right? The upward risk for inflation and downward risk for employment. So, and that puts us in a different situation. You know, when we use the term stagflation, I always have to point out that was a 1970s term at a time when unemployment was in double figures and inflation was really high and the misery index was super high. Add them together, you get the misery index. And that's not the case right now. We actually have unemployment really close to longer run normal, and we have inflation that's, you know, 1 percentage point above that. So calling that stagflation, it's not, you know, I would reserve the term stagflation for, you know, a much more serious set of circumstances. That is not the situation we're in. What we have is some tension between the goals, and we're trying to manage our way through it. It's a very difficult situation, but it's nothing like what they faced in the 1970s, and I reserve stagflation for that, the word for that period. Maybe that's just me.
Elizabeth. Thanks so much. Elizabeth Schulze with ABC News.
We're putting stagflation on the board next time.
Yeah, I just wrote it down.
Very rapidly as soon as the war ends. Do you agree with that?
I don't have a forecast on that.
When we're thinking about the impact on American households, as you know, they've been facing these higher prices for years. They've seen an almost $1 increase in gas. How worried are you about households, especially lower income families, being able to afford those price hikes? And should people be bracing for higher costs, including for food now?
We don't know how big these effects are going to be, and I don't want to characterize them in any way. Of course, people are already seeing gas prices. Gas prices are up almost $1 a gallon. We hope that isn't for a long period of time, and of course people will feel that, but I don't want to speculate about what that might mean, because honestly that would sound like I have some idea of what's actually going to happen, and I don't think anybody really does. We're going to see how this works out, and I just would leave it at that.
Victoria.
Did he say hike? She did.
Hi, Victoria Guido with Politico. I just wanted to ask, for purposes of the next meeting,
Yeah.
you know,
He's
how
gotta
the
say it,
Middle
you
East
guys.
war develops between now and then. How are you thinking about what might guide action at your next meeting? I mean, if we have oil prices, you know, above $100 a barrel the entire time until the next meeting, is that going to change your wait and see stance? Like, what would lead you all to move, or is are you on hold pretty indefinitely?
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, you know, we always say we're going to learn more by the next meeting, and usually we do, but in this case we're going to learn a lot, because we're going to learn 6 weeks to the day till the next meeting, and you know, we're going to see whether what happens is it's going to be very important for the way the economy looks and the way the outlook evolves. With what happens in the Middle East, that's going to be a big factor, and we'll know that then. I don't know how it's going to affect our thinking. I really don't. And you know, we did talk about alternative scenarios a little bit, but it's just, I wouldn't bring that in here. It's very uncertain, and I just want to remember that we don't know, and we shouldn't assume it's going to be one thing or another. We're going to see.
So is it a matter of you don't know how the situation itself is going to evolve, or even if things remain as they are, the economy could still remain relatively durable in face of them?
Yeah, that's true too. No, I mean, the U.S. economy has just, you know, made it's been strong through a whole bunch
Did he
of
really
challenges.
say
I mean,
speculate?
if you go back to 2023, when we raised rates a lot in
Did you say
22 and
speculate?
23, and
I didn't
close to
hear.
100% of economists called for a recession, which didn't happen. In fact, 2023 was a really strong year. So the U.S. economy has really been just doing pretty well through a lot of significant challenges over the past few years. It's been amazing to see.
Okay.
And I don't know what's going to happen in the next intermeeting cycle, and I don't know what's going to happen in the Middle East. I wouldn't want to speculate.
I believe.
There we go. That's a lock.
Hi, Chair Powell. Thanks for taking our questions.
Oh, you said it again.
What makes
Hey.
you so certain
Hey.
that tariff-related price increases
Samuel.
will be a one-time effect? I don't think we've seen you since the Supreme Court tariff decision, and it's pretty clear that
Fortune
none
teller
of us
looking
know
ass.
what the extent of the tariff shock will be as the administration moves to replace some of the tariffs that were overturned. So
What,
I
Miss
suppose
Cleo?
I'm curious, what would make you question this certainty that tariffs are going to be a one-time price effect?
Well, I would not at all use the word certain about my views on that. I'm not certain. I'm uncertain. But just if you think about what it is, it's a one-time increase in the price of a good, right? And what inflation is you know, ongoing increases in prices this year, next year, the year.
Fredward,
after.
you're on
That's
the
what
board.
inflation is. It's not a
Oh my
one-time
God,
price
yeah.
increase. It's
You
a
did
very,
say it.
very big difference. The public doesn't really focus on that, but that's the difference. And tariffs should be you know, in theory, unless they
Let's go,
cause
Fred.
people to start expecting still more tariffs the
Gotta
next
hold
year,
it
and
now.
still more tariffs the next year. They should be a classic one-time thing. People say the same thing traditionally about an energy price spike, because traditionally prices go up and they come back down. And by the time monetary policy would react, you know, you would it would be over. So I don't have tons of confidence on that. I mean, I think the theory is probably right, but as usual, the time it takes to get all the way through the economy is just very uncertain. And we found that coming out of COVID, that the inflation did go away, and largely for the reasons we thought it would, but it took 2 years longer than we thought, you know, and so I think we have to be humble about knowing how long it will take for tariffs to go all the way through the economy. And so what we've been doing is our staff's been doing, it's very interesting. They started off with just an estimate because there wasn't a real history, and then they've built, based on the history that they're seeing of tariffs coming through into prices, they can now have an arc And for all the tariffs, they can say, well, so we have, I think, a slightly more confidence that we will see tariff inflation coming down, not prices, but you won't see further increases. And we should start seeing that more and more in the middle parts of the year. We do expect that. Now, you're also right, though, that the level of tariffs came down fairly meaningfully in the wake of the court decision. But the administration said they're going to get that rate right back up to where it was. So, and we assume that they'll do that over time. So that's how we think about it.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Chris Rugaber at Associated Press. You talked about the shortcomings of the SCP in this environment. I wanted to ask about, or throw in an additional thing, which is the fact that it's happening before transition. Is there still some value, perhaps, in the public knowing what other Fed officials are thinking, the ones who will stay on for the rest of the year and beyond? And does that even handicap your successor in any way? Well, just in terms of having a whole committee expressing its views, is that something that locks them in for the rest of the year?
No. We never. The SEP is never. People are more than happy to change their SEP dots. They're no way bound by them. It's your opinion at a moment in time, which can change based on events. Sometimes very quickly. So it never locks people in. People are more than happy to be proven wrong in either direction. And so I just think we do it. And, I mentioned this was a time when it's very hard to do it. During the pandemic, we actually took one meeting off, I think. But we don't like to do that just because it's hard to do. We should just keep doing it. But I just would say for this one, though, I think it's even more than usual good to take the forecast with a grain of salt, because subject to just very high levels of uncertainty.
Hi, Chair Powell. Brian Chung with NBC News. So you mentioned at the beginning of this conversation that you're well aware of the history of inflation running above target. It seems like that might be what's underpinning the affordability problem that we're hearing a lot about on Main Street. Are there any signs to you that that's impacting the psychology of the consumer, especially given that they're a big driver of overall economic activity?
I'm not sure what that's all about, but I'll tell you what I think and what we see in surveys, and that is, there were big price increases all around the world, by the way. Everywhere in countries like the United States had basically the same kind of thing. It was a global inflation coming out of the pandemic, and everywhere people are feeling like real wages have been going up in the United States now for 3 years, roughly. But people are not feeling good about it yet, and it will take some years of positive real earning gains for people to feel good again, we think. But you're right. But when you talk to people, they do feel squeezed, and there are areas where prices are still going up, like insurance. Various different kinds of insurance are getting more and more expensive, and that's just catching up really from inflationary pressures that take a while to get to into the price. So we take it very seriously. We don't dismiss it at all. It's a very real thing from the standpoint of what people are experiencing, and what it does for us is makes us even more committed, if that's possible, to getting inflation back to 2% on a sustained basis.
How does the Fed's independence play into the ability to address affordability?
Well, independence is what allows us to do our jobs, and stable prices is half of our mandate. It's one of our 2 mandates, maximum employment being the other. I mean, look at every advanced economy that looks anything like the United States anywhere in the world, in a market economy, in a democracy, and you'll see, pretty much central bank independence that looks a lot like, in some cases, stronger than what we have. But it's critical that we have that so that we can do the things when we need to do them to preserve price stability. And it's an accepted standard practice, and I think has a lot of support, certainly in Congress, which is where our oversight is in Congress. And you see that among Democrats and Republicans in the House and the Senate.
Hi, Chair Powell. Richard Escobedo at CBS News. Thanks for doing this. Two questions. One, how high would oil prices and broader inflation have to go, and for how long, for the committee to consider hiking rates? And then secondly, diesel prices are rising faster than gas prices. How concerned are you that the increase in diesel might drive up food and goods prices and lead to broader inflation?
Yeah, I'm not going to give you an example or specific answer on the first question. You know, we're prepared to do what needs to be done, but I wouldn't want to hypothesize about what that might be. You know, in terms of diesel prices, so your question there is, are we concerned about it? I mean,
how concerned, and whether or not it will drive up, you know, the cost of food and other goods that really rely on it to
so
move
I think
across the country.
it's a more general concern than that. It's diesel prices because that's transportation of food and things like that. There are just lots of ways that oil and derivatives of oil get into the production and transportation of many things. So, and those, there are big effects in headline inflation, but things like that leak into core as well. And the effects may not be as big, but they're quite real and they're material. So we are aware of that and we're watching it, but you know, we're right at the beginning of this, and we don't know how big we just don't know how big this will be and how long it lasts. You know, it may or may not be something that really makes a big imprint on the U.S. economy. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Thank you.
Archie, for the last question.
Thanks very much. Just to sort of stare into the future for a little bit, I was looking at the longer run bits of the SEP and noticed that the growth estimate had been revised up a good chunk from 1.8 to 2, and the kind of long-term Fed funds rate as well. It'd be great just to hear, is that AI productivity or what's going on there exactly?
Yeah, well, I think it's just productivity. You know, we actually started seeing meaningfully higher productivity some years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And that's not because of, you know, generative AI. We won't know for years what it's really due to, but it could be due to the kind of things that people did during the pandemic to economize and somehow become more productive because there was an incredible labor shortage. But I think economic forecasters are very skeptical of periods of high productivity because they're so rare and they're often revised away. And for many of us, I never thought I'd see this many years of really high productivity, and by the way, expect it to continue. And we haven't really started to see the effects of generative AI, and that should certainly contribute to that. So it's quite unusual, and it's this is the higher productivity is the thing that allows incomes to rise over time. And so it's a great thing. Was that your question?
Yeah, no, I was just curious what lay behind that. And just briefly on that as well to finish up, you hear the argument a lot, this is a sort of disinflationary story, and if you believe that productivity thing, that should also weigh down inflation over time, maybe then kind of pull down where rates end up. Do you kind of agree with that line of thinking, or do you think that's not how you should think about where the rates
I think you have to be cautious about that, in particular if you're talking about AI, about generative AI. So remember, in the short term, what's happening is we're building data centers everywhere, and that's actually putting pressure on all kinds of goods and services that go into building these things. So that's actually probably pushing inflation up at the margin. In addition, it probably raises the neutral rate. So in the near term, you're not looking at something that would immediately call for lower rates or that would be lowering inflation. Over time, though, sure, it can be if it's expanding potential output, which is what higher productivity does, then it actually can be. But I think it's an empirical question because it's really is the demand growing faster or slower than the supply side. And I think we just don't know that answer ex ante going in. We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you very much.
All right. GG's. Aphelion snuck in at the end there.
That's it.
There was weather, and that's about 80,000 of the negative effect total on the February.
Jeez! Red. What? Almost.
Mr. Madison,
Shout out Manaka, shout out Nono Diabito, and shout out
one of
Aphelion.
the most insanely
Congratulations,
idiotic
you
things
guys.
I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Classic. Classic. Hey, congratulations, Manaka, Nono Dibito, Affiliate. Let's go. Let's go. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's get some music back on.
Congratulations, you guys. If you don't have a CoinWise account, you should go over to their website right now, make one, and head over to their Discord. Please open up a support ticket. Please tell them, guys, I am a winner of today's Kimba TV Bango. Supply them with your CoinWise username and your Twitch username. All right, GG's, you guys. Congratulations. Let's go.
Big shout outs to CoinWise. Big shout outs.
Happy Bango. That was, to be honest, I didn't expect to get all that.
Dude, his speech, it's usually like 30 minutes long. It was 6 minutes. Six minutes.
Pressure.
Yep. Shout out to PSG.
Hey,
Let's
Fred,
go.
almost. Dude, you were right there, man.
Dude.
No worries, Nono Diabito. Shout out CoinWise.
Shout out to BTCC, KCEX, BLOFIN, exclamation dashboard. Karoon, he said, I don't know if I'm going to stay on or not. I guess it depends on the investigation. Otra. We're feeling like it's in the charts. Yeah, maybe June. We'll hold out. Yeah, the economy
Damn, I'm
is really
surprised
strong.
there wasn't any volatility while he was talking.
The economy's really strong, dude. We have fucking quarterly options in 2 days. They're gonna hold it. Even if it's gonna pull back, even if it's gonna pump. They did. Probability is in the charts. Look at Dixie pumping though. That's not the dildo we were waiting for. Gold isn't happy either. Ooh. Ooh. So, any last minute questions? We're gonna wind things down. This is a great way to do so. What do you think, Cage?
I'm hitting the balcony for this song.
You hit the balcony?
All
right.
It was a good,
to
it was
the
a good stream. Thank you for
balcony.
playing some Bango. Thank you for hosting some Bango for us, Mandela. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Did you guys enjoy the bingo? Do you have any feedback on the bingo?
I do. But I still had fun. Yeah, we had a curveball from the Fed, and they decided not to post it until after the fact. So that was pretty juicy. But otherwise, I think the bingo is super fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Shout out to Cage for putting it together. Shout out to Mandalo for holding it together by the strings. Riddler's looking for NPOC.
If you guys got any feedback to make it a little bit better than it is now, let me know. Do my best to make it better.
Yeah, I think it worked great. I think I need less terms. That's gonna happen on the next one for sure.
Cheers.
But otherwise, it wasn't so bad keeping up with. It was mainly the YouTube curveball that I got.
That's okay.
Bingo screen. Yeah, I don't want to hide the price action.
Gotta run it before we get on next time. Make sure everything's working.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they changed. They decided not to have it on there. Like it usually airs from there, and I had already adjusted from the original source that they didn't run it from. But yeah, we'll make sure. Next meeting, 6 weeks from today.
That's okay.
It's still fun. You had something to do while you were waiting for Biddy to do something. Link to the
can do that,
keyword
Inky.
table. Okay.
Actually, that's a good idea. We can give them like a screenshot before we start, so they
Okay.
can all see.
Yeah, I like that. Sammy has a teeny tiny bit of this gap left. And that wouldn't be that bad. You know, it's still holding the range. If we're gonna make
Frederick, I
one more
already thought
push.
about it.
That would be really nice, Fredward. Believe me. I would love that.
Be able to cook something up.
So we got that one single print. How about to the downside? I think it's return no rate cuts, but we still blazing. The plan is the plan, the math is the math. We're in power hour now. Facts. Let's go, wrong person. Let's go, Mr. John La. Mr. John Lira. Shout out Shays. Shout outs Kagum. Piyush. Nono Diabito. Kata. Dokong. Daily plays. We definitely had our popcorn ready. We had our juice in our cups. Latuche. I had a salad. Houston had a salad and a chicken sandwich.
Yep, got it. And a Diet Coke.
And the Diet Coke, gotta get it. Hey, Houston, you try that thing Diet Coke and root beer mixed? You seen that? It's supposed to be you mix the two together like the right ratio and it tastes just like Dr. Pepper. For real.
Well, a little time.
Have to try that out.
We're trying it out. Hey, Nick, it's Mandalorian Nerd out.
Mandalorian Nerd out. We're gonna mix some stuff together and hope it works. I heard Mentos and Coke works pretty good too. It tastes just like
Oh yeah. Try that one right now. Right in front.
it tastes like a creamsicle. I mean cream soda, that's what I meant. Juice. Alright, we're just pressing on these lows. Holding pattern till tomorrow. We got unemployment coming in. We got quarterly options coming up on Friday. Mandalorian Nerd out in the morning. Got talent show in the afternoon. Exclamation dashboard. Keep an eye out. Exclamation BTCC. Exclamation dashboard. Exclamation CoinWise. Shout out to CoinWise for the support today. Congratulations to the bingo winners. That was a lot of fun. Thank you, Cage, for putting that together. Thank you, Usty, for the intro, and thank you both for joining. I would love to thank all of the Lions for joining us today. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you juicing. If you're not juicing on finances, hopefully you're juicing on knowledge. Every day we get a little bit better. See y'all in the Discord. Exclamation Discord. Come on in. Congrats, bingo winner. Shout out to Gucci Romo, Ron Person, Manaka, Skip Moha, Nona Diabito, Mark, Fred Word, Ron Person, JV, Romano, Bitcoin, among other things. Yeah, we're wrapping up. Come join in the morning. Come join in the morning. Market open 30 minutes before. Yeah, it'd be a good time. We're going to do a lot of TA and nerding out. Much love, y'all. Thank you again to UC and Cage. Thank you to Kimba for the opportunity. Thank you to JPZ and the American economy. Absolutely, it was a blast. Shout out to Mark, Bergix, Vladimir, Riddler, Grime, Curvies, Mark, Nono Diabito. Oh shit, I'll pay out the points as soon as I sign off. Maestro, Collie Noob, Vladimir, Cage, Justy. Any last words?
Yeah, Aphelion, Nonobito, and Manaka, guys, reach out to the Discord, alright, to claim your CoinWise reward. Make sure you've signed up to coinwise.com and you have linked your Twitch to your profile. Much love. Thank you, Mandalo.
Big cheers. Have a great afternoon. I'll see you all in the morning.
Big cheers.
See y'all in the morning. Much love.
It's Mandalo.
Early morning level without a doubt. I'm nerding and we nerding out. Cause we got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We set them. We set them. Pre-market out for the Lions is ready. CoinWise, Sammy and Salmon, we steady. Deep cheers when the knowledge connecting. Wise Lions studying with patience. Man, that low. In the morning, I'm nerding and we're nerding out. Early morning levels without a doubt. Calling the zones in the structure. Pre-market nerd out. That's all that we about. Shout out to CoinWise. Cause we got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We set them. Why you be all on the trot if you rushing? Why you not marking the levels of soaking? Wise Lions patient, we build it for structure. Man, die low, teaching the code to the public. CoinWise outfits, flowing abundance. Knowledge and discipline stacking the hundreds. Every reaction, the Lions know how I'm coming. Lions brigade when candles start pumping. Uncle for the bell ringing, the Lions on a mission. Studying candles, levels, and timing with precision. A boobalito and then you mark market condition. Coin-wise with KIMBA'S dominating the competition. We got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels. We set them. Battle. We set them. Battle. Pre-market off of the Lions is wedding. Coin-wise family and seminar we stay. Big cheers with the knowledge connected. Wise Lions studying with patience. A man that low in the morning. I'm nerdy and we nerdy now. Early morning levels without a doubt. Calling the zones of the structure. Pre-market nerd out. That's all that we about. Shout out to coin-wise. Cause we got levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on levels on